back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer, and I am a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. He's like, parent, what are you doing to me? I forgot where I was. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome. My brain is kind of scrambled, so if anything doesn't make sense in this video, you can blame that to my chaotic mental health. But yes, a couple things to point out. I have Smee earrings, so these aren't actually Smee earrings, they aren't like commissioned or anything, but one of my favorite earring artists, actually probably my favorite small business for earrings, at Love Crafted by Casey on Instagram. I'll link her in the description below. I love her earrings. She posted these earrings, and one of them was this, and I was like, it's Smee, I'm buying it, because like Smee would even be in this position. But anyway, I need to get into the video. So yes, welcome. Today's video is all about Smee. So yeah, the cat in the intro, that is Smee. That is my resident cat, and I decided I wanted to do another video all about him. Surprise! But I literally love my cat so much, and I haven't done this video before, so I thought it would be fun. A little while ago, over a week ago, I don't know, rather recently, it was Smee's Gotcha Day. Officially Gotcha Day. So he actually has like 3 days of the year that are just for him. We have his estimated birthday, we have his first Gotcha Day, the day he was brought into foster with me, and then we have the day we actually adopted him, where he went officially from a foster to a foster fail. But yes, Smee has been with me for way over a year at this point, which is crazy because I feel like I've had him my entire life, but I also feel like I got him yesterday. It's a super weird feeling, but when I say I have never loved an animal more than I love Smee, I mean it, and I'm sorry for all my other animals, but seriously, Smee is my best friend. He has made my life so much better. And before we get into the sappy stuff, let me like actually tell you what this video is, I guess. So this video is more of a chill video where I am just telling you Smee's story. I don't think I've ever gone in depth before on my cat's story. And technically I used to have a series where I was kind of just like sharing my cat's stories, and I did a couple and then I just stopped. I don't know why, it just kind of stopped. If you hear noises, that is Smee playing with a spring in the background. He likes cat springs. But I kind of stopped, and then I just decided I want to do one for Smee. And I just kind of was like, I'll do the other ones later if I ever get to them. But yes, I am telling Smee's story today. Just one more thing before we actually get into the video. I had a troll on one of my videos about CH cats, which Smee has cerebellar hypoplasia. I've talked about that a lot. He's disabled, but he's great. He does not know he's any different, and he is happy. He's not in pain. He's doing great. But they basically said I should like put my CH cats down because they're not happy and I am selfish for keeping them alive, which, okay, sure. That person clearly did not know anything about CH, because literally CH cats are some of the happiest cats I've ever met. I've met 5 at this point, like 5 officially that I've had in my care for even just like 24 hours. The shortest period was 24 hours, but they're so happy. So, I don't know, they're also not in pain. Their condition doesn't get worse. They're disabled. Like, what are you gonna say? It's not a illness necessarily, but yeah. Anyways, actually onto the video at this point. So I'm gonna try and like pop up pictures on the screen because Smee is awesome. He's very cute. But I got Smee in dates, please. I need my dates. Smee, you can't go out of my room right now. I'll take you out later. He wants, like, recently we've started this like kind of nightly cuddle time on my bed out there. Smee wants to go cuddle, and I'm like, I'll cuddle with you in a minute, because he's also way too hyper for me to take him out right now for cuddles. Okay, so this is the first post I made on Instagram about Smee. I'll put the picture that I posted of him up somewhere on the screen. But I posted this on September 15th, 2020. I don't know if I got him that day. I might have gotten him like a couple days before because I don't always post like the exact day I get the kittens. But yeah, I got Smee. It was when I had Wendy and Peter and Darling, their mom. I definitely had those guys for a while, so you might remember Wendy I called my miracle kitten because she managed to pull through a surgery that she really needed to survive at 3 days old. And she survived until she was actually in first spay, and then she did pass away because of an internal condition unrelated to like all the other stuff. So that was really sad, of course, because she was my miracle kitten, but she passed away. But we also had Peter at that time, who was her brother, and then we also had their mama, Darling. I love Darling so much. Again, this is gonna be a more rambly video in contrast to my last video, which was really structured. This is not structured. I don't have a single thing written down to say, so you're in for a Corin rambles video today. I hope you're okay with that. But they were actually around the same age as Smee when I got him. Smee was about 8 weeks old. They were about 8 weeks old at that point, so we got them. He had already been in a previous foster home, so we were able to just merge them together because he'd already passed his 2-week quarantine, so they knew he wasn't sick. But I guess I didn't actually start with where did Smee come from. I said I got him. I didn't say why, but Smee was brought into a vet's office that he actually still goes to that vet for his just checkups and stuff. It's a local vet's office that is absolutely incredible. I'd found them through one of the rescues I worked with, and they do a lot of like trauma work, cases that are harder than a lot of vets are willing to handle. You know, cases where things happen to animals and they're just injured more, and they also do special needs cases. And so someone brought in Smee and he couldn't walk. They didn't know if he was paralyzed at first, but they actually started him in water therapy. This was a few weeks before I got him, and I don't know a ton about water therapy. Actually, from what I understand, it's where they use water, because you know how when you're in the water and you feel so much lighter because the water takes a lot of your weight off. Water therapy, I think, correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't actually done a ton of research about this. It helps to get people recovering from injuries and also animals. It makes the pressure lighter so they can actually learn to walk a bit. And that is how Smee learned to move his legs again. It honestly was amazing. He was like, they didn't know if he was gonna walk. They didn't know if they were gonna have to euthanize him in the end, but they were actually able to get him able to move his legs. And that is when they were able to diagnose him with cerebellar hypoplasia, because that was when they realized that he could walk, he could move his legs fine, but there was something going on in his brain that was making it harder for him to walk, essentially. After he'd been in the care of actually the vet's mom for a few weeks, she realized Smee was not a good fit for her home at that time, and so they reached out to me because I'd actually done work with cerebellar hypoplasia kittens in the past. I actually had the cerebellar hypoplasia kitten I had, Charlotte, adopted out like just a few weeks before, I think. So I was pretty familiar with the disability. Smee's literally just at my feet. What are you doing, bud? And when the vet reached out to my mom to ask if we could take him, she said that, oh, he's milder than Charlotte. And my mom and the vet kind of had a bit of a misunderstanding where my mom thought she was saying he was mild, because I actually had a lot on my plate at that time. I don't remember what other fosters I had, but I must have had other fosters to be overwhelmed, because I wouldn't be overwhelmed with just 3 kittens that were older. But I was like, oh, I'll take him since he's mild. Well, it turns out Smee's not mild. He's severe, but he's milder than Charlotte was. Charlotte was like about as severe as you could get. Smee's like severe. He's just not that severe. So yeah, there was just a bit of a misunderstanding there, and honestly, the first night I brought him home, I was like, I'm not sure I can do this. Because cerebellar hypoplasia, the disability, it doesn't get better, it also doesn't get worse. However, cats can learn to manage themselves better. So for example, like say someone went blind. I know this is different, just kind of listen to me for a bit here. So say someone went blind and they were never gonna regain their vision, but they can learn to maneuver around, they can learn to get themselves around in the world by just adjusting. That's the word I'm looking for, by adjusting. They would adjust to their surroundings, they would adjust to the environment, you know, adjust to their new situations, and they'd be able to get around in a better state than, say, when they first went blind. That's kind of how it is with Smee. Of course, that wouldn't be a case where he had an accident and then had to deal with it. Just as he grew up, he was able to adjust to his body more, he was able to build muscles, so he is able to get around a lot better than he was when he first was a kitten. But where I'm trying to go with this is that he didn't get around very well when I first got him. I pretty much had to help him with everything. I had to put him in the litter box. He wasn't really potty trained at all. He's pretty much potty trained now just because I can put him in the litter box several times a day and he doesn't really go outside of it unless I like forget to put him in the litter box, which is my fault, and then I don't get mad at him because, well, I never get mad at him, but if it's my fault for forgetting to put him in the litter box, you know, that's on me. I also had to hold him while he ate. Yeah, so he needed help eating, just doing so much. And I was really overwhelmed. And I was thinking, honestly, like, I'm not sure I can handle this right now. I think we might have to take him back to the vet and let them find another foster. But then my parents, the amazing superheroes that they are, pretty much said, it's okay, let's try and keep him. If you're still feeling like this after a few days, we can take him back. But how about we help you with some of the responsibilities for him and see if, you know, we adjust to it better. I am so glad they did that because obviously I still have him next to me over a year later. So I was able to begin to manage him and the other kittens that I had, and it went well. And one of the things about Smee, or just any other disabled kitten that you take in, is that they're hard to get adopted out. If it's a disability that doesn't really affect them much, like missing a leg or being blind, you know, it does affect them, but not as much as a neurological disability that really affects their everyday life. Oh, hi. Hi, Eli. But they're just flat out hard to get adopted. It took months to get Charlotte adopted, and I was prepared for it to take months for Smee. What I wasn't prepared for is that I was not able to let him go. So we had him, and we kept having him, and we kept having him, and we were not finding adopters. Am I in focus? I'm probably not in focus. And we frankly did not have anyone that would take him. And we were like, well, he's definitely gonna be a long-term foster because we just don't have any adopters for him. We were willing to travel to get him to a good home, but there was just nothing coming up. There was no one able to take him. And so we just had him. We had him for quite a while. You know, the joking started of like, oh, are we really gonna give up Smee? Or like, oh, we should just keep him. But if you know me, I joke about keeping fosters a lot. And I'm never serious about it. The one time I was kind of serious about it was Smee. We just weren't finding him home, and we weren't finding him a home, and then I found a potential adopter. There was someone that was interested in him, and that was when I realized that I couldn't give him up. I remember I didn't really tell my parents I'd found the adopter. I was just going to gauge their interest a bit more, see if they really wanted to submit an application, and I just burst into tears. Like, I ran upstairs and I was like, Mom, I found a potential adopter for Smee. And she's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I can't give him up or something like that, you know, something pitiful. And it was just like, my family had already talked about it. We'd also been like, oh, well, he can just be a forever foster. And we like never officially adopt him, but we like adopt him, you know? But that was when we knew we were gonna keep him. It was like, we just were. Smee gave me no other option. He came into my life and he was like, well, bobble, 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 because that's what he does. I'm gonna stay. And so he did. We didn't realize he was gonna stay for a while, but he was. And adopting Smee was one of the best decisions I've ever made, probably second to actually choosing to foster in the first place. But frankly, he's incredible. He is my like soul cat. He's the cat that I was meant to have. And you know, we chose to adopt him. I don't think we ever like signed anything because we were approved to foster. We were like obviously approved to adopt too, because they wouldn't approve someone to foster but not adopt. So all we did was like send payment. I think we just texted the leader of the rescue and we were like, so we're adopting Smee. And she was really excited because she knew we really loved him. And then we texted our vet because she was the one that actually gave him to us in the first place, and she was really excited. And let me just take a little bit of a detour for a second. Our vet loves Smee to pieces, and so does everyone else at the vet. So we usually have a pet sitter come to our house when we go out of town for a bit to watch all the animals so they don't have to be boarded. But Smee actually prefers being boarded because with the pet sitter, they only come a few times a day, and Smee just really likes more company. And he's also someone that doesn't need a ton of space because he can't really walk that well, so he doesn't need nearly as much space as another cat. So he prefers to be boarded at our vet, and they treat him like a celebrity. He gets treated so well. All of the staff loves him to pieces, and it's great. Smee is someone that I cannot see the next like 10 years of my life without him. Hopefully more, but at least 10 years. I cannot see my life without him. Like, for college, I'm looking into registering him as an emotional support animal because he really is. Like, that's one of his major roles in my life, that I could take him to a dorm or just find a pet-friendly apartment or something. He helps my anxiety so much. Growing up, I always was like, oh, I wish I had a cat that I could hold. Like, I wish I had a cat that I could hug and stuff when my anxiety gets really bad. Like, I wish I had a cat that I could like be there for, kind of like a stuffed animal, but like a cat, because I have 3 other resident cats and they're great. I love them. They're not huggers. They're not ones that like you to hold them. If they're in your lap, like you get to stroke them gently or they leave. So that's just them. None of my other cats let me hold them. And my dogs are like nice and all, but they're also really excitable. And so they're not always good when my anxiety is really bad and I'm panicked because they sudden movements. But Smee is the answer to all of my like I want an emotional support animal problems, because he will just sit there and he will let me hold him and he will let me hug him. He will let me cry on him. I have done that multiple times. And he's just my best friend. Through all of the hard times, he is there 100%, and he will always make me feel better. Even though he can't make me 100% better, he sure tries his hardest and he sure does a good job at making me feel better. And he's just sitting over there like bobbing at little individual pieces of hard food on the floor. Oh, and they're on the floor because he spills them. He likes to spill food bowls. My siblings love Smee so much. My sister, who's 6, tried to claim that Smee was her cat. And when I was like, well, who raised him? She was like, me. Yeah, right. He's my cat, but my siblings love him. He's just awesome. He's so happy. He's such a good foster brother. Like, he is nice to every kitten that I bring in. Like, maybe he's just a little bit grumpy for like a day, but then he's like cuddling them, playing with them. He's just awesome. I'm looking over here because that's where he is. And, you know, I have a feeling I might get some questions about my opinion on foster failing because of this. Because people are sometimes like, well, you know, do you think foster failing is okay? And my answer is usually, it depends. It really depends on your situation. If you can foster fail and you won't have too many cats and you can still continue fostering, okay, I mean, give the cat up if you can, but if you have a cat like Smee where you just can't give them up and you can still foster, okay, keep them. But if you have to stop fostering to do that, then I wouldn't do it. Because if you foster fail so much, there's a point where you have to stop fostering. If you have a ton of resident cats, you have to stop fostering because then you'll have too many cats in your house. So I could not foster fail again, definitely. I have 4 resident cats, and that is as many as I can have right now. But Smee is amazing, and I'm really glad that I foster failed him. So I definitely say it's not always a bad thing to foster fail. And foster failing isn't necessarily the best term because it's not failing. I didn't fail with him. Foster found. I just coined a new term, didn't I? Foster found. I found him through fostering. That's a good term. You're probably watching this and being like, or it's already been made up before. I foster found Smee, and I would have posted this like right around his gotcha day, but 1, I didn't do enough planning for that. Then 2, I really wanted to get up my history of black cats video on Halloween, and so we're here now. Smee. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I probably forgot a key part of Smee's story, but oops. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more kitten related content. I upload on Sundays and Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I want to. Also, please make sure to leave any thoughts or questions that you have down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye!